Alright, so in this video we're checking out this telescopic camping light from a company called BougeRV, and they do make a lot of interesting sort of camping gear. This is a really interesting light. It's very compact, you can see here, so very easy to carry in a backpack. It's currently inside this little carrying pouch. I'll show you this in a second, and just come with a user's guide and just a quick look around the box. In terms of the features, it looks like 3,000 lumens at maximum brightness, and obviously it's battery operated, up to 60 hours of battery life, obviously at the lowest brightness settings, IP54 waterproof rated, and it takes 4.5 hours to charge, and it does expand in height. So you can see here, I'll show you this here in a second. It's folded up like this, very compact, but you can, as you can see, it can telescope up like on this nice tripod-like extension, and you got these three lights there and stand on legs on the bottom here. And just a quick look at the specs here on different brightness levels. Low is 900 and high is 3000. Dimensions unfolded and folded. And the battery is 15,600 milliamp hours. You can use it as a power bank as well, so as a USB-C port, which I'll show you here in a second. You can charge up your smartphones. Weighs about 2.3 pounds, and it actually has a pretty good amount of heft to it. Alright, so here's the carrying case. It's got a little carrying handle here, a zipper to open up. You have these little mini metal stakes that are in here, and these go into the legs when you expand it out, and we'll stake it to the ground so that it doesn't tip over, because it's going to be very tall, of course. And let's go ahead and unzip this and pull this out. Okay, so here it is. Obviously it's folded up. This is the bottom here. The USB-C port for charging is behind this little port, and then there's 4 lights that also indicate the charge level. Obviously you want to keep this little rubber cover on here to keep it waterproof. There's a little on-off switch here on the bottom, so you need to turn that on. Otherwise the buttons on the top will not operate, so we'll go ahead and switch this on. If you don't want to put it on the ground, so you can either not extend the legs and just put it on the ground like this, and then have these little lights up and use it on a table. But if you want to extend the legs, you can do that, or you can use this little hook here. This will pop out, and then you can hang it off of something and use it like in a tent, for example, and hang it off the ceiling. So there's a variety of different ways you can configure this. The top here has 3 buttons. You got a power button, you got a plus minus button, and you have a mode button here, and this is the flashlight, so you can also use it as a flashlight if you want to point it. So I'm gonna quickly show you how this works. So basically, when it's collapsed together, these little lights are secure, so if you want to pop them out, you have to pull this apart a little bit, and then you can see this little clip here will release, and then you can pop the lights up. You can see there's these little reflectors all over the place, so you can see this in the dark. They'll kind of glow in the dark if you're having trouble finding it. So just for example, pretty standard configuration is you can lift these up here. There's going to be a 3rd one in the back like this, and if you're just using it on the table, you can just use it as a camping lamp like this. To turn it on, you're going to press the power button, and it's going to turn one of the lights on. So you can see that one in the back is on, and then if you want to adjust the brightness level, you're going to use the plus minus button here, and that's the 2nd level of brightness like that. And that's the 3rd, and then press it again back to level 1. And you can see these other 2 are off. To turn the other 2 on, you press the power button again. Now we have 2 on, so we have this one here. And by the way, these also rotate, so you can rotate these. Basically almost 360 degrees, so you can point it up as well. So when you have it hanging from the ceiling on this hook, you can rotate this all the way around and illuminate that way, but just keep it in the standard config here. So got 2 of them on here, press the power button again, and now we have all 3 going. So just to show you, we got all 3 going. This is quite bright. Even on the lowest setting, it is very, very bright. And with all 3 of them on, we can adjust the light here. So this level 1, level 2, level 3, and yeah, the video is super overexposed. If you wanted to change the, I guess the white balance, right? This is the cool illumination. I think maybe at 3,000, 6,000 Kelvin or something like that. If you want to change it to a warm light, I hit the mode button. And now we have sort of a warm light instead of that bright cool light. So this, obviously, if you prefer this, it's not as bright as on the cool light. The cool light seems to be significantly brighter in terms of lumens, so just something to be aware of. So in order to turn the flashlight on, when you have the lights turned on, you press the mode button, I think a couple more times, and then the flashlight will turn on, and it is definitely not as bright as the LEDs, of course. It's just, I think, one LED coming out of the top here, but you can use it as a flashlight if you want. So in order to activate this SOS mode, you're going to long press the mode button, and then you get this SOS mode where it's kind of going in this sort of flashing pattern here. And it looks like it's using the warm light. Let's see if I can switch it. If I press the SOS button again, yeah, it just turns it off. So it looks like the SOS button or SOS mode is just the warm lights. Let's see if I have the cool lights on and I press the, yeah, if I go into the SOS mode, it just turns on the warm lights for the SOS mode. So of course, if you want to make it taller, you just continue to telescope this up. And of course, you saw the maximum height. Yeah, the maximum height was 64.2 inches, but I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So in order to get these legs out here, if you want to make it a little bit taller or more stable, you have to press down on the leg here, pop it out, and then it will come out over here, and then you just slide it out like this, and you should be able to, lock into place like so. And of course you do the other two, and then you can use the stakes if you want to use it on the ground. You don't want it to fall over. Use those included 3 stakes here in this little hole, and that should secure it to the ground. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this looks like, sort of in a dark environment, and how bright the lights are in the next part of the video. All right, so I found a kind of dark corner of the kitchen here. The light's off, pretty dark. Got the camping light kind of open up like this, and let's go ahead and just turn on one. So we got the light over here, and let's turn on the levels here. So we got level 1, level 2, and level 3, and back to level 1. Turn on a second one here. So we got this one here, and let's just rotate this around. So these are pointing back. So kind of pointing at the wall back here to see how bright it is. And go ahead and change the level here. So that's level 1, level 2, and there's level 3. That's very bright on level 3. And turn this one down. Turn on the third one. So now we got all 3 going. That's level 2, and that's level 3. So quite bright. And if you want to use it as a flashlight, you can see if you're pointing it at something, it's quite bright indeed. And then we switch it to the warm light. Here's what that looks like. That's level 1. It's not as bright, in my opinion, as the cool light. Level 2, level 3, but as a warm light, it's still quite bright. And even if you just have one light by itself, can point this at me here, and just to give you an idea of even just one of the lights at a low level is quite bright. You can see a lot with that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn all 3 of these on, and go ahead and we'll maximize the brightness, and we'll see what that looks like. I'll point it at myself here. So I have all 3 of them at the maximum brightness pointing at myself now. So you can get an idea of how bright that is. It's actually blindingly bright. I don't want to look directly at that light. So that's the telescoping camping light, pretty useful. And it shrinks down to that nice small size. It'll be linked down in the video description if you guys want to check it out. That'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.